Sarabeth, but I've been called lots of things like sexy and, whatever SB wants to stand for that day. People love to do that. But
Hey, we have people contacting us all the time about looking for a realtor and looking to move to Richmond, Virginia. If that sounds like you, we would love to be the real estate team that helps you. All of our contact information is below the description, and we can't wait to hear from you.
Welcome to another episode of Living in Richmond. I have Sarabeth, the owner and operator of SB's Love Shack, and I am so excited to have you on. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm really stoked to be here. This is awesome.
When I am excited especially to interview you about your story, about what SB's stands for. I am totally curious. I have no idea. So yeah, tell me more.
So I get that question a lot about what is SB? What's the SB? And I'm like, that's me, Sarabeth. But I've been called lots of things like sexy and, whatever SB wants to stand for that day. People love to do that. But no, it's me. When I first decided to open a restaurant, I really wanted to use my name, Sarabeth. But in New York City, there is a wonderful little brunch spot and a famous jam place that is called Sarabeth's, and they've copyrighted that name. And I called them to ask if I could use my own name down here in Richmond. And the gentleman was like, absolutely not. And the little old lady whose name is Sarabeth was about 90 years old. And I know she would have been like, of course, honey. But her grandson was like, no. So I was like, okay, all right, I'll change that up. And so SB was my nickname in college, and I thought that was really appropriate.
Yeah, absolutely. And how did you come up with the theme? I mean, tell the viewers, like, everything. It's so quirky and adorable.
Oh, yeah. Wonderful. So I love love. I love all types of love. I believe in it. I think it wins over everything all the time. And people were coming to me and saying, oh, the Love Shack. You've got to name it the Love Shack. And I'm like, sounds kind of like a sex store, but that's whatever. Okay. And I played with the name like 100 different times. And the morning that I was supposed to go sign the papers to get my business license, the Love Shack came on the radio. Delilah was like, hey girl, I got your answer for you. And wow. I haven't heard that song in forever, especially on the radio. And I was like, that's it. It has to be. And I wanted to put Lakeside in it because it's my home and it's my community and I love it. And then I also thought, like, in the future, if I get another one, I can just, put that other little name right there and it'll just keep going. So that's how the name came about. And then the menu, if you notice, are all the lyrics of the Love Shack song. Everything's named after that. And it was just really fun because where you love puns and kitschiness, like, everybody loves a good pun. So that was kind of where that came from. And everyone said, oh, is this a B-52 themed? And I said, they're a part of it, definitely, but it's definitely love themed. Everything we do, from the minute you walk in, it's all about love. So
no, you can feel it. I mean, and I love all the special boards. You guys changing it up every week.
Oh yeah.
I think one of my first things I ever had was just like a specialty, like biscuit with gravy, and it was really different. It was off the wall and it had this cute name, and then I had a drink with it, and it was
because it's all about that experience. It's not just like everything's made from scratch, but it's got so much love in it because we sit there and we're making it. We make it. I tell everybody, make it like you would eat it, make it like you would drink it. So our drinks tend to be strong and our food tends to be, a big portion because that's just what we would do, or that's how we were fed. So we want to make sure everybody is at home,
Right. And you mentioned that you live in Lakeside. So how long have you lived in Lakeside?
I've lived here about 15 years now. I came originally from Virginia Beach and decided to come to school at VCU. I originally went to Wingate University in North Carolina. And then when I came home, I was like, oh, I'm not done. What am I going to do? 2 hours away is just enough to like be far enough away from your family and live on your own, but also pick up that phone and say, I want my mommy, and you can be there in 2 hours. So it was like the perfect place for that. And when I first moved to Richmond, I was downtown in the dorms, and it was just so welcoming. It was so, you could be whoever you were, you could wear whatever you wanted, and it was accepted. And that was one of the most beautiful things about Richmond that made me fall in love instantly. And I've been here 20 years now. Came out to Lakeside because I had my son when I was 25, and was like, I need to get a house. Like, we need to, do this.
Yeah.
And it was the perfect area to buy a home as a young single mom. You can afford it. The neighborhood is so just community oriented. My kid goes out and plays with his friends. I know where he is. Everyone else knows who he belongs to. It's safe. Everyone waves at each other. People pick up their dog poop. Like, that's a big one. Like, woo.
Yeah.
But
one of those things you don't think about.
Yeah. But it made the community is just so home. So I bought my house 10 years ago, and I've stuck with it here and said, this is where I want my business, because this is where my heart is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and you can tell. I mean, anytime that anybody walks through those doors or just sits out on the patio, or even, fights for a parking spot. Like, let's be honest.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
hard to find parking, especially on the weekends or holidays.
So there is a back lot. It's a little secret back lot.
There is a back lot. And I actually didn't realize that for probably the first 5 times. I would just circle, or I would park across the street. But yes, there's a back lot.
We have a lot downtown too, behind the little store that's across the street. There's a lot back there for us, because I'm a princess parker myself, and I will circle the block 100 times and not park, 4 blocks away. So I understand that.
Right.
But yeah.
I want to be able to see it.
Yes.
And tell me about the new location. You guys.
So, I got a phone call last year, right before, I guess it was around September, October, from, who was it? Well, someone called me and they said, we would love for you to take over the brunch spot. Are you interested? And this was out of the blue. And I was like, I don't really have time to think about this, because this is an opportunity of a lifetime.
Right.
And I said, you know what? Let me talk to my accountant. That's the only person I needed to talk to about it. She said, absolutely. I said, okay, let's go. Called them back, and we were ready to rock. So we got the tables, and like the all the equipment came with it, which was really awesome, because that was the ability to start it. There was no way I could have started from scratch. Right. We kept the same menu, which was super easy to train people. And because of the reputation of my staff and how we work, and I take care of my people, it wasn't hard to staff, which was pretty amazing, especially like right at that time. People wanted to work for me, and which was absolutely I felt honored. And my entire staff stuck with me through the pandemic and worked their butts off, and we thrived. In order to open this place, we broke down the wall at the original Love Shack, built a bar. And so we thrived because of everyone putting their heart and their love into it, which was awesome. And I'm like, okay, so downtown now, we've been open since March. We're only open during the days, and we open till 3 p.m. down there. So here in Lakeside, we're at 2, and down there we open till 3. So it gives them an extra hour, and students tend to wake up a little later. So we got that. We also
Students,
can
young
do.
professionals.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. but we can do events and caterings and lots of things. We've rented it out now. We've done 2 comedy shows. We're doing a paint night coming up. We're doing a drag show at the end of the month. We've worked with Habitat for Humanity. We've done some engagement parties. So we're really, that's where we can thrive now, and we can get out into the community. And that's what I'm all about. I'm like, how can we make the fan even better than it already is? You know?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
So,
it would be my dream if every single little neighborhood had a Love Shack.
yeah, I love that. That's
That
a
would
good
be
dream.
Yeah, it's a big dream. I mean, you might have to be a little picky.
Right.
But, like, okay, this one, Church Hill, you can have one that also like helps with like Shaco and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be awesome. And so when you're not, you know, loving on your business, what do you love to do within Richmond?
So behind me, you'll see these 2 young gentlemen. One is my son, TJ, and his best friend, Finn. They're 12, so they're going to run away now. But that's my pride and joy. He's a musician, and as well as his little friend over here, and they're amazing. So I really like watching him play music, listening, spending some time with him, being an immature 12-year-old boy, you know. I love it, because we've all got that like potty humor in us.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
I have
there's
an
that, and then
18-month-old boy. Yeah.
It's
only
coming.
starting. It's only starting.
And then I really love going out to eat. That sounds crazy, but I enjoy getting waited on, because you know you're doing it. I love eating other people's food. I love having their experience, and you know, it just get that hospitality. I love this industry, and I love to support it. So that's something we like to do. And of course music. So my son's into it, but anything we can do with music, going to concerts, or, you know, just playing silly games with our Alexa, and picking up a guitar and going to play by the pool or whatever. So,
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, well, Richmond's a great place to be into music. I mean, there's so many old venues, and fortunately some that have gone out of business, but I'm really crossing my fingers that like Harry Street Cafe like comes back to life. I just want the right owner to just kind of hit it, you know, and bring it back, because
I think like now is the time. There's so many new places opening, and it as much as the pandemic hurt small businesses, it also allowed the people to start them, because you could get grants and you could get the money that you weren't able to get access to. And if you were smart with it and adapted, this was the time to do it. Right. So I think that it's coming. Like, that place is historical. It has to.
No, I mean, it was probably the first place that I ever went to on my own in Richmond when I first moved here.
Heck yeah.
And I ended up meeting a friend that evening, and we're still friends, you know, years later. And I mean, it's just, I don't know, there's just like some kind of magic within those walls. Yeah. And I feel like that about a lot of Richmond. Yeah. You know, it kind of binds you to people.
Yes. Well, being in the old, Sobel's, Starlight, and Brunch building, like, there's so much history there. Oh, and it's, when I tell people, depending on what generation you are, I hung out at Starlight. And so I've got lots of memories and non-memories in Starlight.
Yeah, let's be honest.
You know? So that was something that I really liked, and we embraced on our menu. Like, our drink menu has names of all of the places it's been, and like little places around. And then at Lakeside, we've like, you know, incorporated the businesses around here and the nostalgia, because nostalgia never dies. It only gets stronger and stronger. Right. So if you can have a business that has that as its heart, I mean, you're going to be hip forever, you know? Oh yeah. So
yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah. Well, and I guess what would you say is your top thing that you would do if you had all the cash, all the money to make Richmond, you know,
Right.
Better.
There's a couple different things. I love Lakeside. So I know I would live in Lakeside. I would just like make my house ballin', and I would have all my friends live over here.
Yes.
But if I had to help with like the community, in our industry, and this is something I've seen happen a lot lately, sobriety is a thing. People are trying to get sober, and it's really hard in the restaurant industry because you're around it all the time, and it is a very hard working, you're underappreciated, and it's just available. So I think I would love to start like something that it was a big place that you could go, and have karaoke, but you can be sober and do it. There's stuff to do, there's a pool, and there's just amenities that you can go do that you don't have to, get messed up with. Or, and you can, hang out with the same people that,
go to a bar.
yeah, exactly. And then maybe have like different floors. There's like treatments for each people if you need to get away, because mental health is such a big thing that it's all incorporated with that. So that's something that I like would really be close to home for me. That's something I would love to do for Richmond and my community, especially in this industry.
Right.
So,
like a next generation community center.
Yeah.
That is applicable to the things that we need now, not 30 years ago.
Yes, exactly. Because there's so much like outdated stuff. We really need to like get with it and help. There's just so much going on. And after this pandemic, I mean, it really got brought to attention. So
yes, I definitely feel like most of the holes in our society have been made known.
Oh yeah.
we all see them now, like clearer than ever.
Yes.
So, well, and you said that you wanted to also highlight your staff.
Yeah.
And I believe that we're going to try to get a little bit of footage, just of like your staff, or just, like pull stuff off of Instagram or whatever we can.
Okay.
To kind of showcase.
I love them.
But yeah, I guess those are all my questions.
Yeah.
So we can sign off. And
awesome. Anybody, when I told everybody that I was going to be on this show, they were like, "She's amazing. I follow her." I was like, "Oh yes, okay, we famous, y'all."
Oh,
you want to be
awesome.
in it? Hey, Ramsey.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi.
He became my best friend by being my regular at Lakeside, and we've been best friends ever since. So I was like, you meet your friends, your family grows, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I love it.
I love living in Richmond. I feel like I meet a new friend nearly every day.
Absolutely.
Seems like it just seems to attract very friendly personalities all the time.
Yes. Oh, well, you rock. Thanks for doing this, and thanks for like loving this city.
Thank you. I feel very blessed, and I'm very I have full of gratitude that I am able to just interview people that I wouldn't normally be able to, and reach out to owners of all sorts of industries and talk to them and share their stories, and hopefully, get more hits for them, get more people in their doors, or calling them about like landscaping or, home design, anything like that. I feel like, rising tide raises all ships, and a lot of times
I love that.
don't know, until they know. And they don't know what they don't know. And
exactly.
That's what I'm about. I'm about like, small businesses. I came from a small business family. We owned a yarn shop for 10 years. And the struggle is real, but the rewards are 100% yours.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I love it.
That's wonderful. So thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. And for everybody viewing, I hope that you go and you visit Love Shack on Main Street or in Lakeside. They are awesome. They will feed you. You will roll out of there, and you will be a happy camper no matter what.
Yes, you will spread that love when you leave.
That's right. And for more interviews, you can find us down in the playlist, or you can subscribe to this channel and you can see more interviews from, everyday people who own small businesses here in the lovely Richmond, Virginia.
Hey, we have people contacting us all the time about looking for a realtor and looking to move to Richmond, Virginia. If that sounds like you, we would love to be the real estate team that helps you. All of our contact information is below the description, and we can't wait to hear from you.